Hey everybody, my name is Mike Tomorrow, and I want to welcome you to the latest episode of My Life with Asperger's. Today's topic I'm going to be talking about is the story that was presented on Dateline NBC on Sunday night. I don't know how many of you got to see it, but I have been posting it on Facebook, or I did post it. Once I saw it on Facebook, like the day before or 2 days before, that they were going to do a special on autism, I posted it on my Facebook page, so hopefully you guys have seen it, or hopefully you guys tune your TVs to NBC to watch it, you know. But anyways, the story is about how the Dateline NBC crews were following two young males that were going to high school, and then they turned 21, and both of them had to leave school. And then the tough reality is, after turning 21, what is out there for people with autism and Asperger's once they become adults? It's called aging out. Where some of the school districts, once you turn like 21 or 22, they kick you out of school if you're still in high school. And that is wrong, you know. And then once they get out of school, what is expected of them, you know? And none of the services would help the families, you know, because there are wait lists, and they showed a daycare for adults on there. And that's not right. They shouldn't be doing that. They, you know, it's like a rehab place, and go during the day, and that's not right. You know, where they just sit around and watch TV all day. You can do that at home. But it's not good to do it anywhere. You know? Now, I understand these two guys were kids when they were diagnosed with autism. But I can relate to them. Because the fact is, when I was growing up, I dealt with the same problem. However, I did not go to high school until I was 21. I was 19 when I graduated high school. And then I went on to college. 7.5 years later, I graduated with a bachelor's degree. And during that time of the 7.5 years, I was diagnosed with Asperger's. You know, I was 22 when I was diagnosed with Asperger's. And now I'm 31. And still, the government does not care about people with autism, it seems like. Or adults with autism or Asperger's or whatever. They do not care. You know? I don't know if I told you, but I tried applying for government aid. I tried applying for Medicaid and Social Security, and they all shot me down. You know? My case is... I appealed my case to Social Security to get disability, and I'm still waiting to hear back from them on that. You know, because it's been hard for me to find a job that I can survive. You know? People think with a bachelor's degree that I have and everything else, I should be working in a entry-level job. Like food service or a restaurant or a store or something. And that shouldn't be the case. I should not have to do that. You know? I worked in food service for 10 years and I've had it. Or over 10 years, you know? And, you know, I'm always trying to fight for the adults on the spectrum. You know, popular media believes that autism stops once you turn 21. That is not true. You live on. Autism lives on. I'm sorry. It affects you for the whole entire life. You know? autism is something that just does not go away. You know, and I'm glad that Dateline NBC brought up this topic, because without it, you know, this is a good wake-up call for the governments across the states of the United States. It's a good wake-up call for the government of the entire country in Washington, D.C. to do something about people with autism, adults and kids. You know? It's good that you're helping out the kids, but us adults need help. And they need the help now. You know? And we need the help. You know? You know, I read an article the other day about how people that don't speak English in Puerto Rico, they're getting disability from Social Security. And that is not right. Because there are places that people can learn how to speak English. You know? And since when is not learning English considered a disability? Where I am considered disability, I am considered disabled because of my Asperger's. I have a hard time trying to look for a job. I have a hard time dealing with people. Well, I do love to deal with people, but I have a hard time interacting with people sometimes, you know? And that's real hard. For someone like me, I have a hard time. You know? I can deal with people. But I try to take my time with it. You know? And it's hard to, if I have to rush into it, it's hard, you know? I love dealing with people, but it's just hard, you know? And the government doesn't realize how important this is. That we need funding. I know you can fund everybody else. And I think you care about the children, as I do, and they're our future. But what happens when they turn 21? You know? Give me a break. You know? If they're still in high school, let them go to high school. Let them finish. You know, I know you don't want them to stay in school forever. But if they still need to go to school, let them. You know, don't kick them out at the age of 21 or 22 or whatever age it is. You know, don't do that. You know? It's ridiculous how they think it's okay to kick kids out of high school with autism once they turn 21 or 22. You know? Give them a chance to learn. Everybody learns differently. We are all different in this world. You know? But anyways, going back to the special. I was glad that I got to watch it. You know, I was emotional when I got to see it. But I can relate to the parents. I can relate to the two gentlemen, you know, because I'm going through the same thing, and my mom and dad are going through the same thing too, you know. There needs to be more for adults with autism out there in this world. There needs to be more. And it's just, society and the government does not care. They think autism and you're normal. They think autism and it goes away. And it's not true. Autism lives with you for the rest of your life. You know. And I know I was diagnosed at a late age. But I'm still young enough where I should be able to receive funding from the government. And help and aid, and you know. But I'm not. And nobody cares. You know. And that's where the government needs where we need their help. You know? Like they said in Florida, they have a wait list of like 22,000 people for Medicaid, I think it was, or Medicare, or whatever. And that's not right. You know? People need the help, and they need it now. You know? And the government just doesn't care. You know? I feel bad for Eric and Nick on the thing. You know? And that nobody cares. But yet, you know, they expect us to live normal lives? Come on now. They expect us to be normal? We can't function normally. We're not normal. And whoever thinks that we are normal, we're not. You know? I am going to try to post a link for you guys so you can see the special on Dateline NBC. Because it is very important that you guys do see it. You know? I would advise everybody to watch it. Because you know why? Because you'll feel the same way I do. You know? I advise you to watch it. And if you haven't watched it yet, or if you have watched it, watch it again. Because, you know, it is sad. It's a cruel world out there. And people just don't care. You know, we live in a society where people do not care about other people anymore. Where people are getting shot down for help. You know? And there's not enough being done about it. All society cares about is kids. And kids on the spectrum, you know? Give me a break. We're adults. We're becoming adults. What happens to the kids when they become adults? You know? I know at least two people, maybe more, on the walk committee I'm with in the Orlando walk. And they have kids. They're in their teens. And once they turn 21, they're going to have to deal with the same problem. And we're trying to fight to make sure everybody gets help, you know? Everybody in the spectrum gets help, you know? And it's just wrong that people can be so cruel in this world. What happens to the parents once they die? Parents are not going to be there forever. Like, my mom's going to retire in August. She and my dad cannot help supporting me. You know? Because they're going to retire and they want to enjoy retirement. They don't want to have to hassle with me all the time. And I don't blame them. And I don't want to live with them forever either. I know I lived without them for like the past 2 or 3 years before coming back and living with them again. But, I mean, come on now. I don't deserve to live with them. You know? But that's the way the world works, and that's the way the world wants to accept me, it seems like. They don't care that I function on my own. Or I've lived on my own before and I need help. Nobody cares. You know, I tried going to voc rehab in Florida. And they don't really help me. They didn't really help me. I know I was working at the time, but still. I was trying to find a better job, so I can get better pay, so I can live a better life. And they just don't care. You know? And that's the problem with today's society, is that they don't care. You know? It's a problem. And no one does want to care. You know? And that's the problem in this world. You know, we need to help everybody that's on the autism spectrum, not just the kids. It's not like charities just care about the kids. They don't care about the adults. I want to start a charity one day called, this is the name I want to come up with, either Mike's Missions or Everyday Autism, where it helps everybody with autism. Not just kids, but kids becoming adults, and, you know, and adults that are already adults, and people that get diagnosed when they're adults, or when they get kids, or whatever, you know. I want to help them out in this world, and I should be able to help them out. You know? But that's another topic for another video. But I do commend Kate Snow on doing a great job on that documentary on the Dateline NBC on Sunday. And like I said, if you haven't seen it yet, go on my Facebook page. It's probably on there. The link is probably on there. And I'll post it below in the comments here, or the description of the video on here. So, alright. I'll talk to you guys all later.